I'm showing you what to cook when you don't feel like cooking. We are making lazy dinners tonight. Lazy dinners have shortcuts and they require minimal effort, but they're gonna deliver maximum flavor. Lazy dinners are versions of longer cook meals. I'm starting with lazy lasagna. We know that lasagna requires multiple pots and pans, lots of steps and lots of time. I'm showing you the cheat code to lazy lasagna and it's gonna be delicious. You could start this with Italian sausage, which has a lot of built-in flavor. I'm just using ground beef because that's what I always have on hand, and I'm just gonna add in a little onion. That's the extent of the prep. And we build the whole thing on the stove. All right, so I'm just gonna start by sauteing my onion. Again, if you just wanna use Italian sausage here, you can skip this step. Since I'm just using the ground beef, I need to incorporate a little more flavor. So I'm just gonna get that a little bit softened and brown your ground beef. Lazy dinners are perfect for this time of year when we're really tired of cooking or we're cooking a ton on those holiday weekends, but your family still wants to eat during the week. This, I'm just gonna add in a little garlic powder because I'm being lazy. I don't feel like chopping garlic or peeling garlic. A little bit of salt and pepper. All right, so we just want this to get all browned and then we go in with our sauce. If you've got some grease, you can get it out with a little paper towel. You know I'm not about to dirty a strainer. I said it was a one-pan meal. All right, this is when the meal turns a little bit magical. For the sauce, I'm using a shortcut. Telling you, lazy dinners, we're not about to make our sauce from scratch. This is the time and place. I'm gonna add in about a third of this jar at this point. Just make sure it coats all of that meat. All right, you take your lasagna noodles and break them and then just kind of nestle them into the meat mixture. Okay, get your lasagna noodles in and then you pour the rest of the sauce over. I'm gonna rinse out the jar with about a third to a half cup of water. Spread this out. You wanna be sure the noodles are like covered. All right, then we just cover, reduce the heat to like a medium low and then let it go for about 20 minutes or so until those lasagna noodles are tender. You don't want this to be too hot or all that liquid's gonna evaporate out and those noodles are gonna kind of burn. You need it to go low and slow for a little bit just to tenderize those noodles and let it absorb some of that liquid. Just before we're done, we're gonna take some ricotta cheese, flavor it up a little bit of salt, pepper, and garlic powder. I mean, you could also throw in fresh basil or parsley if you want here. Just mix this together. All right, it's been about 25 minutes here, and you can see these have softened. Okay, but we're about there. They need a couple more minutes, but that will happen once I top it with the cheese. So I'm gonna go in with our seasoned ricotta and just kind of dollop it. Then go in with some shredded mozz and some grated parm. All right, then we're just gonna let it finish. I'm gonna cover it, keep it on low, and let it go about 5 minutes. Look at this. I'm gonna add a little fresh parsley. And then you're gonna wanna let it sit for a couple minutes before you dig in, just so it can kind of come together a little bit. Now this one is more of a scoop situation and not a square situation. But the bites are still gonna be perfect. I mean, it works, it works. A little more parsley. Did not even break a sweat with this one. How does it taste? The lasagna noodles are actually cooked perfectly. They have like the slightest little bite to it, but there's so much creaminess with the sauce and the cheese that it makes for the perfect bite. Lazy lasagna is all about that slow Sunday flavor in a fraction of the time. All right, it doesn't get any lazier than this next trick. This is chicken Caesar bake. You can start with boneless, skinless chicken breast or thighs here. I'm doing the breast and I'm doing the ones that come like in this pre-packaged, so they're a little bit smaller. I just think they're a good like single size serving. 1/4 teaspoon salt and pepper. Now just spread on Caesar dressing. I've seen this like multiple versions of this on TikTok. Now you put on sliced provolone on top of that. Then every Caesar salad has to have croutons, so get Caesar croutons or whatever croutons you want. Give them just a little crush. Then we're gonna toss them in some melted butter. And then we pour this right on top. All right, then it goes into the oven. I'm gonna go 375. I'm gonna start with about 35 minutes. That looks so good. I'm gonna add a little more green too. And it adds so much just like perfect freshness to your dishes, especially when you're taking shortcuts, because it doesn't change the flavor, but it just kind of brightens it up a little bit. All right, let's dig in. Hot and steamy, perfectly cooked. 100% chance I'll be doing this again. It took all of 3 minutes to prep and it was already start to finish in way less than an hour. If someone told you to make wonton soup, you'd be like, heck no, that's way too much work. but Lazy Wonton Soup, you can do it. It's one of the most flavorful soups this time of year. It's like the feel-good soup. It's got so much flavor. Starts with store-bought chicken stock. The first thing we're doing is creating our broth. All right, start with 2 quarts of stock, and then you're just gonna flavor it up. Take 1 bunch of green onions. We're gonna save the tops for the end, and then we're just gonna cut up the bottom parts to flavor up the broth. Also gonna add in some ginger. You just wanna slice the ginger up and add it right in. A garlic clove. Just gonna give it a little smash. A couple tablespoons of soy sauce, a little bit of rice vinegar, a little brown sugar. You're gonna get your sweet and salty, and then a little salt. All right, that's it for this. I'm just gonna give it a little stir. Put this on the stove while we make our wontons. So wontons, you make a pork filling and you wrap it up in the wonton wrappers. We're just gonna make that pork filling, roll it up and drop it in the soup. So you're gonna start out with about 1 pound of ground pork. So inexpensive. We're just gonna put it all in. We're going to grate in some more ginger. Again, you can also use dried if you want. A little bit goes a long way also, so you don't need a ton. All right, then we're gonna take those tops of the green onion. We're gonna save some for garnish on the top, but we're gonna put the rest right in this meat mixture. All right, then to this, we're gonna add in some sesame oil, a little more salt, a little more soy sauce, and a little cornstarch. That's it, and then you're just gonna mix it all together. And then you're just gonna take this mixture and roll it up into like 1-inch balls. They don't have to be perfect. I actually like them a little less perfect, but you want them like bite-sized because you're gonna, this is a soup. You want it to be able to get on your spoon. You could totally have these made ahead of time. You can keep them in the freezer and then drop them in the broth when you're ready. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. You already know this one's gonna make you feel good just by the smell of it. As our broth has come up to a simmer, all those flavors from the ginger and garlic have started to infuse into the broth. So it's ready to go basically, and now we're just gonna cook our little meatballs. The flavor from the pork is gonna enrich in the broth also. All right, that's the wonton filling, but we gotta add the wontons. So you can find these wrappers in the produce section of your grocery store. Also very inexpensive, usually under $3 or around $3. Just gonna take these wrappers and cut them into quarters, and they're gonna cook like a noodle or a dumpling into our broth. It's roughly about half the pack that you're gonna use. You can wrap this up and stick this in your freezer for next time. All right, after our little meatballs have cooked for about 5 minutes and it's come back to a simmer, we'll drop in our wonton wrappers. These will separate pretty well once you put them in, but don't go in with just a pile of them, kind of like sprinkle them in. So these are gonna cook for about 7-8 minutes. Final thing to add, we're going in with a little bit of bok choy. You could also just add in some fresh spinach. You could do some kale, you could leave this out. It's very easy to find and inexpensive, but this is gonna kind of boost the nutrition of the soup, also add good flavor. And this is gonna wilt down just as spinach would, so you can go in kind of with a lot. It's gonna cook down to nothing. Once you add the bok choy, it's just gonna cook about 3 or 4 minutes and then you're good to go. This is just a pot of warm hugs right here. To finish it off, you can go a couple different ways here. I like to add a little bit of tang and heat. So you can choose a little bit of sriracha or chili crunch or both. And then the rest of those green onions. Lazy wonton soup that's gonna taste like it took you all day. While this might be called lazy wonton soup, it is the most exciting flavor you'll have all week. The flavor from the ginger, the garlic, the soy sauce, you get that little heat from the chili crunch, totally recommend. And just with the bok choy and that broth, it just makes you feel healthy and good inside. Here's another lazy dinner the family will love, Big Mac Casserole. Taking the flavors of our favorite all-American classic, the Big Mac, and turning it into a casserole. Starts with our French fries. This is gonna be our bun, our bread, hash brown patties. So it's okay if these overlap. Just find you a casserole dish where you can fit about 8 of these patties in there and get them into the oven 400 degrees for about 20 minutes while we get everything else ready. Now for the burger, some ground beef. All right, then you're gonna take an onion. I'm gonna grate some of the onion to put into our Big Mac sauce. You're gonna add that to a bowl along with any juices that are also accumulated right there. All right, and then I'm just gonna chop up the rest of the onion. For our meat mixture, this is a lot easier than having to patty up a bunch of burgers and fire up the grill. We're just gonna brown the meat off in the skillet. We're gonna make it taste like a burger. Get your meat all browned. You can drain it if it's fatty, and then season it with salt, pepper, and a little Worcestershire is gonna give it that burger flavor. And then I'm adding the onion now, and I'm only gonna cook it for 1 more minute because you want the onion to still be like slightly crunchy in there. You know, when you get your burger at McDonald's, it's got those onions that are pretty pronounced. Cook that for about 1 minute, and that's it. All right, setting this here. All we have to do is make our Big Mac sauce. Got our grated onion from earlier. A little mayo, a little mustard, a little relish. Got about 1 cup of mayonnaise, a couple teaspoons of yellow mustard, a little bit of sweet relish, a little bit of salt, a little splash of vinegar, paprika. That's how my husband's grandmother used to say it. Some onion powder. That is good. Good little burger sauce right there. All right, we got our burgers, our buns, and our sauce made. Now we build. So our hash browns have cooked. We're gonna flip them over so that the crispy side is on top, and then this side can get crispy when it goes back in the oven. Take your burger mixture and stir in some of your Big Mac sauce and some cheese. Stir that up and then pour that right on top. Top it with the rest of your cheese. You know the song? 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. Sesame seeds are going on top. And then back into the oven for just about 10 more minutes. I wish you could smell this. Hot, bubbly, melty, cheesy. Just get shredded lettuce and chop up some pickles, some more sauce, and why not? The Big Mac Casserole Lazy Dinner number 4 is complete. If a Big Mac and a hash brown casserole had a baby, this would be it. This is definitely your fun dinner of the week. I'm telling you, see, lazy can be exciting. My final trick is the laziest one of the day. Creamy, comforting chicken and dumplings is the laziest dinner of the day. It only has 4 ingredients, and I have made this before, and it is so delicious. It makes you almost not want to make it from scratch homemade because they're so good. The 4 ingredients are just cream of chicken, chicken broth, canned biscuits, and chicken. All right, start by just dumping the cream of chicken right into a saucepan. I like to use slightly larger pot because when we add our dumplings, you want them to be able to circulate and kind of swim around in the broth. You're gonna add in about 6 cups of chicken broth. This is the less sodium one, just because there's a good bit of salt in our soup. All right, we wanna get that going together first, and then we'll add in our chicken and our dumplings. But this does have a lot of flavor, and it's already well seasoned with salt, so you really don't have to add anything else. So that will come up, and we'll just get our dumplings ready. Trust me, when it comes to lazy dinners, this one is super lazy to make, but it tastes like you've been cooking all day. Our dumplings are canned biscuits. You've probably even done this before. These are rolled dumplings, but really you can do them fluffy if you want. You can just cut these into little cubes. I like a rolled dumpling in the chicken and dumplings. It's more like the Cracker Barrel effect. So you just want to roll your canned biscuits out and then just give them a little cut into some strips. Once our broth comes up to a simmer, we'll drop these in. Once your broth has kind of come together as it's heating up, you can go ahead and add in the chicken because then it needs to come back up to a boil before you add the dumplings. And because this is a lazy dinner, this is the time to use rotisserie chicken or any leftover cooked chicken. Now bring it back up to a boil. Drop your dumplings in like noodles. You don't want to drop them in as a big clump of dough or they will cook like a big clump of dough. And you want there to be bubbles in your liquid. That way they circulate around and don't all stick together. Just fill it up and let them go. I'm gonna cover it and let it go about 12 to 15 minutes, stirring occasionally. These look so good. Little garnish to finish it off, some fresh parsley. And then I like a lot of pepper on my chicken and dumplings, so gotta let it cool off for 2 seconds before I take a bite. But look at that. I'm real excited about this one. I mean, you can just go right in. You're gonna come out with the perfect bite. I know we used the canned shortcut, but there is just something about it. It tastes like your childhood or home or your grandmother or a warm hug. The dumplings are hands down, you cannot tell it came from a can of biscuits. You just can't. Nobody would know that unless you told them. The flavor is perfection. I did not add any salt. It's creamy enough. You can just let it simmer till it gets, you know, the thickness you like, but those biscuits really help thicken it and make it extra creamy. This is the perfect dinner, and I don't care if it was lazy. Speaking of lazy, give yourself a little grace. These recipes are delicious. Your family's gonna love them, and it's all about working smarter, not harder. You're welcome.